I believe he will be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. And if he remains dedicated, interested, and without any distractions, I believe that eventually he'll go down in history as the greatest heavyweight champion we've ever had.
Returning to the past, we will see a man who has become a great icon of boxing.
First of all, I'd like to just thank Cus for putting in all the hard work, and I'd like to say hello to all my family back home. I knew from the beginning, but everybody else knew, that it was no calm. It was no calm. Just like the rest of it. A lot of people came to look. Jesse Ferguson came to look. The Fraziers came to look.
James Broad was out there.
James, all of you come get some, because Mike Tyson's out here. He's waiting for you. All come get some.
He was called the baddest man on the planet for his incredible punching power and aggressive fighting style. His speed, strength, and vicious aggression earned him the title of the youngest world heavyweight champion in 1986. He is Iron Mike Tyson. Today, we will show you all of the most brutal and aggressive knockouts of the legendary Iron Mike. Mike Tyson made his professional debut on March 6, 1985, against Puerto Rican Hector Mercedes. From the very beginning of the fight, the 18-year-old Tyson pounced on his opponent without giving him a single chance.
Swinging hooks to the body from Tyson, and if that is it in round one, that is a pretty impressive professional debut from the man who so nearly went to the Olympics in Los Angeles last year.
Mike Tyson versus Trent Singleton. In the first round, Mike had a magnificent streak of 4 punches, the last of which landed right on Singleton's jaw. Knocked down. Trent got to his feet and continued the fight. However, he could not resist for long.
He gets a mandatory 8 under New York State Athletic Commission rules, and already, from what little we've seen Mike Tyson in his pro career, down goes Singleton again, left hook this time and body, and he's just a perpetual motion machine so far. This isn't going to go too long. Trent Singleton in all sorts of trouble. We're already in round one. The Mike Tyson, the young fledgling professional, 2 fights, 2 wins, the debut on the 6th.
Mike Tyson versus Don Halpin. In the first minute of the 4th round, Halpin misses several incoming punches. Bouncing off the ropes, Don falls to his knees. He gets up and continues the fight, which did not last long.
Can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so. That's enough. Now that last right hander, that was questionable. Tyson celebrates.
Mike Tyson versus Ricardo Spain.
Shake hands, come out boxing. Good luck, gentlemen.
Mike Tyson, 3 fights.
After a series of 12 unanswered blows from Tyson, Spain tried to find salvation in a clinch. Immediately after, Mike sends him to the canvas with a left hook.
It's like a steam hammer.
Ricardo gets up by the count of 8 and immediately is sent back to the floor with another powerful left hook. The referee was forced to stop the fight.
I don't believe it. That's well inside a minute. Spain can't believe it. Tyson absolutely destroyed him there. Well,
Mike Tyson versus John Alderson. Mike started very aggressively as always. Despite John's superiority in weight, height, and arm length, he was unable to keep Mike at a distance.
Well, he has got to. Gino will have a busy night tonight in this 6th rounder. Tyson, you heard documented, of course, the young man fighting very well. So there's the right, good countering right hand, and that stunned Alderman. Well, backs up another right hand combination by Tyson, and he goes on the attack. Yes. Dan Halpin, I guess, is the only man, and this one may not go much longer as a crushing right hand sends the left eye starts to ooze some blood now, and Tyson goes right back in on top of it. Tyson trying for his 5th straight knockout. Alderson weary on his feet.
Just trying to survive now. He's got to throw something out, though. He's laying in with Tyson.
Ruling that as a slip, not a knockdown. Alderson peeking in over that swelling left eye. And here comes Tyson. Alderson throwing the right hand here.
In round 2, a second before the bell, Tyson's right cross crashed into his opponent's head. Knockdown. On the count of 6, Alderson gets up and walks to his corner but refuses to continue the fight.
With his own right. There's a good straight right hand by Mike Tyson. That sent Alderson down.
Mike Tyson versus Lorenzo Kennedy.
July 25th in Birmingham, Michigan, over Vernon Richards. And look at Tyson go right after Kennedy. Now, Kennedy is a boxer, but gets knocked down with the first left hook he takes. Look at the power, ballers. Kennedy, little shaky now, takes a right hand. This one could end in a hurry.
At the end of the first minute of the first round, Mike again squeezes Lorenzo in the corner and delivers 4 unanswered blows to Lorenzo's head. Kennedy drops to one knee, and Joe Cortez is forced to stop the beating.
That was right. When he saw that last right hand land, he could just feel the fact that Kennedy would be sagging to the canvas. Boy, Mike Tyson is powerful, huh?
Oh, wow. Mike Tyson barely built up a sweat. But you know he was warm and ready. He came out fired up. It is 7-0 with 7 knockouts. Lorenzo.
Mike Tyson versus Michael Johnson.
Hold on to your hats. Nobody thinks it's going to go that far. Up there he goes. He's just going to pull it.
From the very first seconds, Mike begins to attack his opponent, pressing him to the ropes. A left hook to the body sends him into a knockdown.
I'm glad you pointed it out because down he goes. The left hook just buried him, dug him in the ribs.
Johnson gets up and wants to continue the fight, but a right cross knocks him out.
Put it all there. The right to the head, and it's all over. Goodbye.
I hope he's not hurt because that was a brutal, wide open punch.
He did not have his guard up, and Mike Tyson.
I plan on boxing Tyson too. I think that I can box as good as he can, and I keep him in the middle of the ring, and I can punch if not better than Tyson.
Will this be a win that puts Donnie Long back into the heavyweight picture?
This will be a win to let everybody know that Donnie Long is back.
Mike Tyson versus Donnie Long.
You both received your instructions in the dressing room.
After the bell sounded, the boxers met in the center of the ring, and Donnie Long immediately makes an unforgivable mistake when fighting Mike Tyson. He stands directly opposite from him and does not move.
Years of age. Long is 27.
Oh, wow. Well, that was quick.
The first one, Cappuccino looking on closely. Here comes Tyson. Left hand again.
Well, he nearly sent Long out of the ring with that left hook.
Tyson. Oh, Long is down. Second time.
In the middle of the first round, Mike hits a powerful left hook to Long's chin and sends him into a knockout.
Look, but give Tyson credit. That's it. Wow.
The left hand puts him down. He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Make no mistake about it. That was a good performance. Not just because of what he did.
Mike Tyson versus Robert Collet. From the very beginning of the fight, Collet tried to keep Tyson at a distance with a long jab. But taking advantage of his overwhelming speed, Mike leaves his opponent no chance. Mike Tyson versus Sterling Benjamin. In the first round, Mike pushes his opponent to the ropes, then throws a left hook. Knockdown. After the referee counted the knockdown, Mike Tyson again pounced on the opponent and launched 12 unanswered punches on him. Literally, a second before the referee was about to intervene and stop the beating, Tyson carries out a powerful blow to the liver, and Benjamin is again on the canvas. Mike Tyson versus Eddie Richardson.
First round, Mickey Herskowitz. Well, you're looking at a very interesting age in height and reach. Castellano, of course. Right hand, right. First punch he threw.
From the very beginning of the fight, it became clear that it would not last long. Richardson held his hands low and tried to keep Tyson at a distance with a sluggish jab. After the third clinch, Mike pushes his opponent into the corner of the ring and throws his signature left hook to the head. Richardson goes back onto the canvas.
Carried him through the air. And it's over. I see right now a major flaw and problem in Mike Tyson's career, and that's going to be to have a fight that lasts long enough to get some good footage on it.
I'm telling you what, it's hard to do. Mike Tyson, without a doubt.
Mike Tyson versus Conroy Nelson. Round 2. Working with a jab, Tyson puts himself in a good position, and taking advantage of Nelson's failed strike, puts a left hook into Nelson's jaw. Conroy falls onto the canvas.
Fast becoming a Tyson trademark. Well, fight number 13, unlucky 13, I don't think so.
Overhand right, then taking him out with a vicious left hand. Referee counted him out at 30 seconds of the round.
Very good fight, experienced fighter.
Mike Tyson versus Sammy Scaff.
Eva Shane. Now look at the height difference, at least 6 inches.
The first round. In one of the corners, Tyson ducks under his opponent's blows and again lands his signature left hook to the head. By this point, Sammy's face was already covered in blood. Another left hook, and Tyson knocks the opponent down. The referee stops the fight.
Sammy Scaff tried to get up. His nose is cut. Look at the side of his nose there. He's breathing in.
Mike Tyson versus Mark Young.
Mike Tyson fight. He's a young, strong guy who jumps right on his opponents, and I think this might be another early stoppage because this guy's been a little wild. He's gonna...
In the middle of the first round, Young makes an unforgivable mistake. He walks forward without hitting, completely covering his entire view with his gloves. Tyson makes a terrific side pull, throwing a powerful right uppercut to the head and knocking down his opponent. The blow threw Young to the ropes from the very middle of the ring. Another victory by knockout. Mike Tyson versus David Jaco. As you might expect, Jaco tried to keep Tyson at bay with his jab. However, despite his superiority in arm's length and height, he manages to miss Tyson's attacks. At the end of the first round, Tyson began to target his opponent, but missed with his powerful left hook. He immediately thrust a right hook into Jaco's head. David is back on the canvas. The referee had no choice but to stop the fight due to the rule of 3 knockdowns. Mike Tyson versus Mike Jamison.
Tyson in the black trunks figures to be the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Tyson.
He's after him, and that's the end of round number 1.
Why don't you use it? Get that left jab out and keep this little guy off you.
Here comes Tyson. Jamison. Mike Tyson takes 2 steps forward. Let's go with a couple of lefts. Now a right, a left. He's got him down. Mike Tyson sends Mike Jamison to the mat here in round number 4 for young Mike Tyson.
The 5th round. Jamison stepped up noticeably and tried to catch his opponent with a jab in this fight that was moving quickly. Tyson waited. Seizing the moment, he throws his powerful left hook that knocks Jamison back into the ropes. Here, having carried out a 4-hit combination on the body with a transfer to the head, Tyson forces his opponent to drop to his knee. Jamison gets up again and wants to continue. However, Joe Cortez felt it would be better for him to stop the fight.
Jamison Jamison wants to continue. Referee Joe Cortez says no. Jamison says he wants to go on, but the referee Joe Cortez says it is over here in the fifth.
Mike Tyson versus Jesse Ferguson. This fight was supposed to show that Mike Tyson was a serious contender for the world title, and not just an exaggerated figure, as many still believed he was.
Tremendous left hook, missed with it, and didn't go off balance. Always in position to punch.
The fifth round. Tyson presses Ferguson to the ropes, where he carries out his signature combination of a right hook to the body and right uppercut to the head. Jesse falls to the canvas.
Stopped it there. Mike Tyson's known as a great finisher. Let's see how he does with Ferguson.
Ferguson gamely hanging in, having trouble covering up. 4 seconds, 3 seconds.
Changes to do it. Tyson's making a mistake by letting himself get this close to Ferguson. He must maintain a little bit of distance so that he's going to take a point. He's disqualified. Disqualified Jesse Ferguson for clinching and refusing.
Mike Tyson versus Steve Zowski. The third round. Mike continues to work with single punches and forces the opponent to retreat throughout the ring. This could not go on for long. Tyson crouches on his left leg and delivers a lightning-fast left hook to the opponent's head. It was a classic knockout. Mike Tyson versus Reggie Gross. From the very beginning of the fight, it was clear that Reggie Gross was afraid of Tyson. He hits with a jab and then immediately jumps back. Suddenly, Reggie explodes with a 15-hit combination. He even manages to strike his opponent with an uppercut right in the jaw. But Mike Tyson, having waited for the right moment, under the hail of blows, throws his signature left and sends Gross to the canvas. The audience roars with delight.
You can't stand up. What? Come on, bro. You can't even walk. Are you worrying about fighting? Come on.
Mike Tyson versus William Hosea. William Hosea did not seem to be a strong opponent from the very beginning of the fight.
Crisp left hook rocks Hosea. And a right uppercut rocks him again. Hosea.
After a clinch, Mike catches Hosea with an oncoming left jab and tries to develop the attack with a powerful streak. Because of the number and strength of the blows, Hosea falls onto the canvas. He was clearly not eager to continue the fight and deliberately did not get up at the count of 10. The referee stopped the fight.
And I'm ready for the guy, and I've also examined the things Mr. Tyson does, his flaws, and I know what I'm going to do for him when he makes those mistakes.
Mike Tyson versus Lorenzo Boyd.
Lorenzo Boyd giving away an awful lot of weight, crowding Tyson looking for an opening. I know Boyd wants to come in with the uppercut.
Going into close range, Boyd tries to break through Mike's defense, but in vain. Tyson calmly approaches him and hits him with his signature combination of a right hook to the body and right uppercut to the head. Lorenzo falls onto the canvas.
Down goes Lorenzo Boyd. The count is 8. He will not get up. It's over.
Sam, show me what heavyweight. The heavyweight to be contended.
Mike Tyson versus Marvis Frazier. Before the fight, commentator Alex Wallau noticed, the question is not whether Mike Tyson will knock Marvis Frazier out, but when he will knock him out.
Like his father, Marvis relies on pressure and stamina and intensity to beat an opponent, but that aggressiveness...
The first round. Moving away from the ropes, Marvis makes a fatal mistake and walks into the corner. And here, Mike Tyson makes one of his most spectacular combinations. He catches Frazier with a right uppercut, his legs buckling. This is a knockout. Referee Joe Cortez counted to 5, but seeing that Marvis would not get up, he stopped the fight.
Last 20 seconds. Tyson goes over to take a look at Marvis Frazier, obviously quite concerned. A terrific uppercut. The same punch with which Tyson knocked out Jesse Ferguson the first time you saw him here on ABC Sports.
What's the uppercut? The right uppercut.
Mike Tyson versus Jose Ribalta. Round 10. After clinching in the middle of the ring, the boxers made a small exchange with powerful punches. The audience cheers for Ribalta and chants, "Jose, Jose." Mike clearly doesn't like this and goes on the attack with a powerful right cross to the head. He misses and immediately adds a left to the jaw. Ribalta falls back onto the canvas. He stands up and intends to continue the fight. Tyson immediately pounces on his opponent with a series of blows to the head. All 5 blows land exactly on target. The referee thought it was time to intervene and stop the fight. Mike Tyson versus Alfonso Ratliff. A year before the fight, Alfonso lost his WBC cruiserweight title and was considered to be a serious opponent for Mike Tyson's growing experience. The second round. After waiting a moment, Mike dodges to the left and lands a powerful left hook to Ratliff's jaw. He falls onto the canvas. Rising to one knee, he waits for the referee to count to 9 and then stands up. Mike Tyson rushes to finish and fires a series of 8 punches. Ratliff finds salvation in a clinch. After the referee breaks the clinch, Tyson begins beating Ratliff near the ropes.
Another sign, of course, that you look for is, can the man finish? And Tyson has left little doubt about that so far. Right hand, that should be just about it. Davey Pearl looking very closely. And that's all. It's over. The bicycle had a flat tire. And the rider by a left hook. That, incidentally, is a much more important fight for Tyson.
Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. The truly historic fight was dubbed by advertisers as Doomsday. It was attended by about 8,800 people, including movie stars and numerous celebrities. At 20 years, 4 months, and 22 days, Mike Tyson, with this victory, became the youngest world champion in the history of boxing, surpassing Floyd Patterson. It was not just a duel, it was a total destruction of Trevor Berbick.
Doing it different.
Mike Tyson versus Pinklin Thomas. This fight was for the WBC and WBA titles at once. From about the middle of the 6th round, a real beating begins in the ring. Thomas misses an incoming monstrous left hook. Then Mike Tyson throws 17 more powerful unanswered blows to the head with both hands. Pinklin Thomas fell to the canvas. This is a knockout.
The referee stops the fight. Angelo Dundee says no. The corner cannot stop a championship fight. I think he counted him out. I'm not sure if that's going to be scored as a TKO or a knockout. I think he may have counted him out. We'll have to wait and get the official scoring. Beautiful. To hear exactly how it goes. I think he had a good...
Mike Tyson versus Tyrell Biggs. The fight lasted until the 7th round. At the very beginning, Tyrell immediately enters the clinch. Tyson strikes from the left. He hits with a forearm and knocks out Biggs' mouthpiece. Another lingering clinch, and Mike Tyson throws a hard, short left strike to Tyrell's temple. Tyrell Biggs falls out of the ropes. His face is covered with blood, but he still manages to get up to the count of 9 and decides to continue the fight. Breaking the distance a little, Tyson thrust another left side to the jaw. The blow was the last for Tyrell Biggs. Mike Tyson versus Larry Holmes.
An undefeated champion with 26.
In the middle of the 4th round, Mike throws a powerful combination to the head. Knockdown. Larry gets up to the count of 10 and continues the fight. Mike Tyson lashes out at him with the traditional fury. Larry Holmes is unable to contend with this and falls again. Holmes rises at the count of 4 and again intends to continue the fight. Mike Tyson pushes Holmes back to the ropes and starts the beating again. Mike Tyson versus Tony Tubbs.
Doing his 6th heavyweight championship fight.
The 2nd round. Mike once again reaches a comfortable distance for an attack and applies his famous combination, a right hook to the body and a right uppercut to the head. Tony Tubbs almost falls down. After the referee broke the clinch, Tony was still not completely recovered and very hesitantly walked along the ropes. Mike Tyson did not miss this chance. After waiting for the opponent to come within striking distance, he throws a powerful left hook exactly to the temple.
Fight is over.
With stunning swiftness.
And the fans are enjoying.
Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. This fight attracted a huge public interest and was named once and for all by the promoters. The winner left the ring as the absolute and unconditional champion. Such an event had not happened since 1971, when 2 undefeated champions, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali, had met in the ring.
Inside, and Spinks went down. And he's down again and in serious trouble. A right hand right on the chin.
Now we know why Butch Lewis wasn't anxious.
Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno.
Shake hands, good luck.
The 6th round. After a pause, Mike throws 2 blows to the head on the right and left. Then a second later, he punches his famous combination of a right hook to the body and a right uppercut to the head. Frank Bruno is absolutely lost and practically does not react to the blows. Another right uppercut and then a left hook, and the referee decides to stop the fight.
It's all over. Michael Tyson wins on a 5th round TKO.
Mike Tyson versus Carl Williams. This fight only lasted 93 seconds, and it also became Tyson's second fastest title fight. In the middle of the first round, Williams tries to hit Tyson with a left jab. Tyson parried and hit Williams with a left hook, which threw Williams back to the rope. Although Williams was able to get to his feet and seemed ready to continue the fight, it was stopped by the referee.
Unofficially, I've got this fight being 1 second longer than Tyson's pace.
Mike Tyson versus Henry Tillman.
The over-under is 2.5.
Just 25 seconds before the end of the first round, Tyson drove Tillman into a corner. Tillman tried to fight back, but Tyson responded with a strong right hook, and Tillman fell onto the canvas. A clear knockout.
That'll be enough.
Surprise!
Mike Tyson versus Alex Stewart.
Protect yourself at all times. Bogus punch gloves. Come on, come on. Come on, baby. The question, as in old Tyson.
As soon as the fight started, Tyson went on the attack and made an excellent combination, after which Stewart fell to the canvas.
That was a flush right hand. 5, 6. Taking a good look at Cappuccino. He's going to let him go. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. If Stewart goes down again, it's over. And Stewart has quick throwing foot.
After another clinch, Tyson misses with a long right swing, but immediately adds a short and precise left hook to the head. The opponent falls under the ropes.
3, 4, 5, 6.
They're forgetting that the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. This fight is over.
Well, Stewart said that Tyson was a mountain he had to climb. He just got knocked off that mountain. He just didn't have the style, Jim, unlike Douglas, to test it.
Mike Tyson versus Donovan Ruddock. The fight was tough. Both men tried to throw punches throughout the fight.
Ready for it. He threw his bomb. All right. My associate minister lets them know to seem to care. A hard body punch by Tyson. Down goes Ruddock. He says he slipped. Just doesn't quite get this. There's a left by Ruddock. A left by Tyson, and down goes Ruddock. Little uppercut and then the right hand. Oh, nice hook. Here comes Razor Ruddock out of nowhere. A combination by Ruddock. An uppercut by Ruddock. A right by Ruddock. Tyson comes back. And inflicted some hard punishment again. A left uppercut by Razor Ruddock. That stunned Tyson. Now Tyson says no. Hit me again. And he did with the right. At the bell sound.
The 7th round. The fight was coming to an end. Tyson was able to hit Ruddock with a combination of 6 blows. Although Ruddock remained on his feet and looked healthy enough to continue the fight, the referee stopped the match, awarding Tyson a TKO victory.
You're looking at here. These were your series of punches that got him in trouble. He's in trouble. The floor was hurt.
I was trying to catch him right there, though. He was hurt pretty bad. I would love to finish.
Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely.
The instructions addressed: protect yourself at all times. I expect a tough, clean fight. Any questions from McNeely's corner? Any questions from Mr. Tyson's corner? Let's get it on!
At the beginning of the first round, Tyson sent his opponent to the canvas with a right hook to the head. McNeely jumped up and suddenly ran around the ring. The referee grabbed his arm and began to count the knockdown. The fight continued.
Seconds into the fight, McNeely on the canvas.
In the middle of the round, Tyson made a successful attack and sent McNeely to the canvas with a right uppercut.
McNeely's hurt this time, Steve. He's very hurt. He can barely stand up. He's got about 30 seconds left.
They want Tyson to go to the neutral corner. What's going on? The round's still going on.
Correct. That was not correct. That was not correct.
He quit. That's it. He quit. McNeely has quit. He didn't quit.
Mike Tyson versus Buster Mathis Jr.
Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
Just 40 seconds before the end of the third round, Tyson was able to inflict successive right uppercuts that threw Mathis to the canvas. Mathis couldn't rise by the count of 10. It was a knockout.
A devastating right uppercut, two of them by Mike Tyson, and he is knocked down Buster Mathis Jr.
Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno. Less than a minute after the start of the third round, Tyson dodged Bruno's jab and made a combination of 13 blows, as a result of which the referee stopped the fight. Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon. In the middle of the first round, Seldon was knocked down with a left hook thrown by Tyson, which was immediately followed by a right cross that further hurt Seldon. Seldon got up at the count of 8 and resumed the fight, but was almost immediately knocked out by another left hook.
Nice long rest there, but he has felt. Back comes Seldon, and Tyson with a left hook, and Seldon is down on his stomach.
Steve, there are two unalterable truths in boxing. If you have a great chin, you don't have a great chin, you can't get one. You can't buy one or learn one.
Oh, forget it.
But
He's wobbly.
You can always win.
Mike Tyson versus Francois Botha.
Comes out bobbing and weaving something to Tyson.
Botha was a pretty powerful boxer. After 4 rounds, many spectators were surprised. Botha fought Tyson on an equal footing, and some believe that he even had an advantage. However, at the end of the 5th round, Tyson sent his opponent to the canvas with a right cross to the chin. Botha got up to the count of 10, but immediately fell onto the ropes. The referee announced a knockout.
Neutralizes everything that was happening to him. That's what happens when you got a great puncher. That's all it takes.
Mike Tyson versus Julius Francis.
Up at 8. 16 seconds into round 2. He's been down 3 times. How much more punishment? There's a left uppercut.
The fight lasted 2 rounds, in which Francis managed to be knocked down 5 times.
It's all over round 2.
Again, that right uppercut on the inside. He's a big man like that with the leverage Mike has. Vicious, vicious punch.
Mike Tyson versus Lou Severisi.
Good luck to you both. Some respect.
This fight ended in a huge scandal. 19 seconds into the fight, Tyson knocked Severisi down with a brilliant left hook. When the enemy got up, intending to continue the fight, Tyson rushed to finish him off.
A barrage by Tyson. The referee, John Coyle, steps between, and he continues. Coyle's trying to stop it. Tyson's hands as if to say the fight. Yes, it's over. It's over.
He stopped it, Steve. You know what? He stopped it, but he didn't do it definitively.
Mike Tyson versus Brian Nielsen.
He got to go with a clean uppercut and a hook and a right hand and another hook. And
By the end of the 6th round, Nielsen's left eye was completely closed. When the 7th round started, Bryan refused to continue the fight, and the referee awarded Tyson the victory with a TKO. Mike Tyson versus Clifford Etienne. At the beginning of the 1st round, Tyson missed with his left hook, but immediately threw out a right hook, and as a result, Etienne was on the canvas. The referee stops the fight.
Give me first your reaction to the fight.
The fight, I was confident. I trained real hard with my trainer, Kevin Rooney, who I owe a great deal to. And I came out and I was confident. I knew the fight. I felt it deep in my heart. I was going to stop him in the 1st round.
Did you know from watching tapes of him that you could hit him with the uppercut?
No, that's my favorite punch. And I watched the time, and I knew from my trainer telling me, as he throws his punches, he bends down. And I knew that would be perfect for my uppercut. I planned on working the body more, but I saw the opportunity, and it looked too good to go away.
In your mind, if your managers Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton and your trainer Kevin Rooney came to you and said, Mike, we think you're ready for a title shot tomorrow, would you agree with them at this point?
Most definitely. Anytime if my manager and my trainer feel that I'm confident and they're willing to put me in a title and they're sure I could beat the champion, I'm sure I could beat him also.
Of the 3 champions, who would you like to fight and why?
I'd fight anybody my trainer put me in with because I'm confident I could beat any fighter in the world.
What do you think of the 3 champions?
They're all good fighters because you have to be a good fighter. You can't take nothing away from them to become the champion. But I'm confident, I'm ready. And I'm ready when my trainer tells me.
This is the world of boxing. Thank you for watching. Please press the like button and comment below, as well as subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new episodes about legends of the past.